Yeah, sure.
I just want sorry. It's not a photo shoot, no? I'm not sure it's not a photo shoot.
No, happy I'm gonna.
We just need a clarification on the ruling on the NMA. What exactly was the position of the court on that for the benefit of this? Was it dismissed? Was it rejected? Or what are we supposed to take out of it?
Well, the ruling is simply requires Nnamdi Kanu, the defendant, to enter his defense. It's not a pronunciation of guilt or not guilty. So that is why it's called a no case submission. So the judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious. Two international institutions or two separate panels of the United Nations have made pronouncements regarding his extraordinary rendition and called for his unconditional release. Nigeria is a member of the United Nations and therefore bound to consider that and implement that decision. And in Nigeria here, and the Court of Appeal also pronounced that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And in the Supreme Court, the same Supreme Court that sent this case back to trial reached the same conclusion, that he was a victim of extraordinary rendition. And all these things are of the record. They are all in the file. And we remember when this trial was being conducted, these very documents were tendered in evidence. So it compounded us, it confused us, that the court now made a pronouncement that the extraordinary rendition had no evidence before the court, that no evidence of it was submitted before the court. And you remember, least but not the last, recently a Kenyan High Court made the same pronouncement. But well, if the court was misled by believing, by mistake, that these things were not in the evidence, it also said and left the door open that such evidence be submitted. So we are coming back with that evidence, and it's going to be quantum and legion.
So what about the first application on the NMA?
Well, that one too, it wasn't in evidence that the Nigerian Medical Association has intervened. So it came as a surprise. Well, there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, I don't think NMA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained. And we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So whatever the court says today does not mean that the government shall withdraw back. Just 2 days ago, I wrote a letter. A private hospital has also expressed readiness to admit him here in Abuja. For security reasons, I won't mention the name of the private hospital. But if the government appears to have issues with taking him to the national hospital, we have given them an option of a private hospital also here in Abuja.
So it's safe to say that the application to be transferred to the national hospital was rejected?
Rejected? No, it's pending. Yes.
One other information.
It hasn't been rejected. It's pending. It's pending the admission of this report from the Nigerian Medical Association and the opinion of the Nigerian Medical Association. And if you were in court, the judge had ordered that the committee or panel to be considered by the Nigerian Medical Association shall have a member from the National Hospital. So National Hospital is still in play.
Thank you very much.
One other information, please. One other information. We are saying that the judge has no jurisdiction whatsoever to try Nnamdi Kanu, because that particular issue of being a victim of extraordinary rendition must be determined, and that one will be the one that will confer jurisdiction on the court. And the court said there is no evidence before him. Now we are going to supply evidence before him that Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinary rendition. Then, having done that, there is no case to answer. So that you should go on with that. And if they fail to do otherwise, we will now see it as a war against the Igbos.
And just like you said, there are two sets of rules. One rule for the Igbos and one rule for every other Nigerian. This is a unique opportunity for Nigeria to be circumspect look towards a political solution to this matter, and especially as it concerns high crime and criminality in the Southeast. So we are all disappointed, but God has not spoken yet. We will come back and show that the extraordinary rendition was indeed included in the submissions made to the court, and then the judge, like the barrister said, we will know whether he has jurisdiction or not. But for the Igbo people, this is your time to rise up and to speak up and to say enough is enough.
War against the Igbos. No case submission declared for Nnamdi Kanu as Tinubus lawyers walks out of the court in shame. Yes, that is exactly what happened today. You can hear everything before the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu. They don't get any case at all. Imagine three different courts has declared this and declared Nnamdi Kanu innocent. Yet the federal government are still beating around the bush. Now shame they catch them. No wonder Shore is making a caricature of all of them. I listened to what Joe Igbokwe, the Igbo APC chieftain, was saying about the no case submission. I don't think that man understand English at all. I don't think Joe Igbokwe understand English at all, because that very guy is an Igbo man in a Fulani skin. Now Fulani man, na him marry mama. Exactly, because if he is a true Igbo son, he wouldn't have been doing what he is doing. I am telling you the humble truth. You take it or leave it. Go check any picking where them born from Igbo land. You go see and say in brain the correct. He need to talk anyhow. But Joe Igbokwe own part, he dey talk nonsensical. He need to talk straight. All in talk just they bend, narrow in a narrow way. I am telling you. So today's hearing actually ended in victory of the IPOP leader, because that same no case submission was declared. That is to say that the federal government have no case against Nnamdi Kanu. Make them let the IPOP leader go. This guy is seriously sick and still in detention. It is not okay. It is risky. They should allow him to go for treatment. Even if they want to continue the trial, no problem. Nnamdi Kanu already have said it. That, look, I am ready to stay here even more than 5 years. I will stay here until Biafra is declared. But my health is what Nnamdi Kanu is crying aloud for. So, my dear listeners, you and I must share this video. It must go viral. We must speak aloud. In the Igbo, this is for you. This is a war against Igbo. You must rise, oh. You must speak, oh. Do you want to be like Joe Igbokwe? God forbid. God forbid. Not be for us. Please, let's share this video. Let every Igbo man have a clip of it. We must fight for justice. Justice must be ours. Thank you.